Hi friends, it's Anna here today, and today I'm super excited to be coming at you with some crocheting tips. So for the New Year's, my family and I went on vacation and we had a long car ride. And as you know, I could not bring my sewing machine in the car, unfortunately. So I grabbed a crochet hook and my yarn and got to crocheting. I haven't crocheted in a long time, so this was really fun to get back into it. I found this crochet cardigan pattern online and I was super excited to make it, and it turned out super cute. So now I'm coming at you with some beginner crochet. This is a beginner crochet lesson, technically. Down below, I'm going to attach the information for this cardigan. This is the Hexagon Cardigan pattern by Passion Knit Goods. It is a great YouTube tutorial, so go check it out. I think you're going to love it. You're going to love crocheting this up. I keep saying sewing because, you know, usually I am sewing. Anyway, let me stop talking. Let's get started. Let me show you how easy it is to crochet.
All right, friends, first let's talk a little bit about our materials. So I've got some yarn, and as you can see, yarn comes in different sizes and in different like softness and such. Usually you want to start, so this is a little bit of a thicker, chunkier yarn. So usually you want to start with something that is medium weight and something that's not going to fray. See how this kind of stays together? This one's kind of, it comes apart and the strands kind of get wide. That's fine, but sometimes as you're learning, that's kind of hard to tell which strand you're going into. So finding some medium weight yarn that is a little bit tighter, it's what you're going to kind of want to use. This is the yarn that I used for that sweater. This is the brand Karen Jumbo Ombre, and here is where all the information on the yarn is. It comes in when you buy your yarn, this goes around it and it gives you the information about what weight it is. This one's a medium, a number 4, and then it tells you kind of what hooks, if you're knitting or crocheting, what size hooks are best for this yarn. Here it tells you a 5mm or an H8, but I'm using, for this tutorial, I'm using a 5.5, a 9, I9. So that's where you can tell here on your hook what size your hooks are, which leads me to the next point of this tutorial. I'm going to show you how you have different size hooks. See all the different size hooks you can have. I don't know why I have a plastic one, but anyway, they have all their sizes on here. You can't really see the size. Yeah, there it is. This is an N15 10/10mm hook. This one is a 5.5mm, an I. This one is a 2.75 C. This one is a 1.30. So the smaller hooks, the tighter your crochet is going to be, like your work. So you really don't want to start with these little ones because these make like the miniature things. I don't know if you've seen like on Reels or on TikTok, those little origami little stuffed things. These are the hooks that you will use for that. So what I like to start with, if I'm a new crocheter, I will start with a hook size about 5.5. This is a good size to make just pretty much anything. We've talked about different yarns and different hooks. We're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing to talk about is how to start your work. So there's different ways. There's different two main ways that they're going to ask you to start your work. You can either start with a magic circle or you're going to start with a chain. And so first we're going to talk about chaining. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we're going to grab our yarn, and I'm going to grab this tail end. It's going to go over the bottom of my hand. And then here's my working yarn, and we're kind of going to use 2 fingers and loop that working yarn around your finger and then bring it right under to create this little like tie here. You can see that right there. One thing that you want to make sure is that you're working, see how this is your end and here's your working strap, and that you're going to pull on that, and that closes this knot. See how that closes it, makes it smaller. Let's do it again. I'm going to pull it apart. I'm grabbing the loose end and I'm placing it on top of my hand like so. See that loose end right there? And here is my yarn that I'm using here on the other side. I'm going to use my 2 fingers and kind of with my ring finger and my thumb just hold on to my loose end of my yarn. and I'm going to grab the bottom. I'm not holding it tight. I'm just kind of gently holding it in the back. I'm just gonna bring it right over my finger like so. It doesn't matter how big this loop is right now, so just like as loose as you want it, as tight as you want it. Don't hold it too tight, because that's when sometimes things get a little bit difficult. So just loose, just laying there. It's just laying on my hand. You have some time to go ahead and do this part yourself. Let's do it together. So let's put it on our hand, loosen at the bottom, put my thumb here and holding my thread right here, my yarn, and then I'm gonna grab the back and I'm gonna bring it right over. So it's just looped right over my fingers. It's just laying there nicely. My fingers are a little bit open. So now, as you can see, here's my yarn back here, and here is my circle. See my circle right here? I'm going to go ahead and bring this yarn and pull it right through there. And then just pull on that. Let go of your fingers. Don't worry about it. Just pull, and here is your little loop. And now you can pull on, now you can pull on your yarn right here and see how it's like closing that loop. You want to have some of this down here. You'll tie that off later. Don't worry about it. If you have a ton, who cares? You'll tie off later. If you have a little bit, just make sure it's a few inches, because you want to be able to tie it off later. But that's it. That's the first one. Here it is. It's just a little loop right here that you're going to get started on. Let's do it one more time, this time a little bit quicker, but I want you to have time to look at it, because I know when I'm learning something new, I want to make sure that I know what it is that I'm doing. I've got the end here. I've got holding it down. I'm going to grab the back. I'm going to loop it around my finger. And as I'm looping it around my finger, I'm coming behind it in between the two and pulling it up. And then I'm letting go of it and pulling it closed. And here we have our little knot. Now what I do is I put my hook right there and kind of trap it. And then I pull on my yarn and close it to my hook. And here you are, ready to begin your chain. There we go. Now the magic circle is a little bit different than this, because from this one, you're going to go and chain your yarn. The magic circle, you're going to crochet right into that circle. So we're going to go ahead and work on this one first, and we'll come back later to do our magic circle. So if you want to find out about the magic circle, be sure to watch the rest of this video, and we'll talk about magic circle a little bit later. All right, now from here, what we're going to do is, this is your end of your yarn. So just kind of let that dangle here and grab your working yarn right here I like to use these two fingers here, and this I like to pull over to the bottom. So then when I have my two fingers here, I'm going to kind of sandwich my yarn between my middle finger and my index finger. So it's kind of looped over my index finger, as you can see that, and then the rest is just kind of dangling there. Again, I don't hold this super tight. Please, if you hold it too tight, it's going to get too tight here at the base, and then you're going to be like, oh, I can't pull it through. So don't pull it too tight. It's literally just laying there on my hand. And then I use my my ring finger and my thumb, and I kind of pull this to the bottom. So it's kind of I'm keeping it out of my way. It's not really doing anything. It's just keeping it out of your way. You can pull it this way, however you want. I just feel that this right here is what works for me. So I've got these two hold right here. I got this yarn here. I'm giving it a little bit of tension, as in like I'm holding it here a little bit, but not super tight. And then I'm holding my hook with my other hand, kind of like you're holding it however it feels comfortable for you right here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this down a little bit. I'm going to grab my hook, and I'm going to go above the yarn, around underneath it, and then I'm going to hook it onto my little hook place. And you can grab this knot here and kind of pull it down so that it's not too tight. And then I'm going to bring my yarn right under. Okay, let's do that again. This is the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. It's just, this is like the loop that was there first. So if you didn't get that, this is the same thing right here. I'm holding on to my bottom yarn. I'm going to hold on to it here kind of at the knot. So this is open. See how this is loose? Now, the looser this is, the bigger your stitch is going to be, but that's okay because we're just learning, so it's fine if you have a big chain. So here it is, a little loose. I have my working yarn here on my fingers. This is my working yarn. Move it out of the way. Okay, so I'm gonna hold on to that. I'm going to go, here's the top of my yarn. It's laying on the top of my finger. I'm gonna go over it. So it's like back, 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 back up, go under, then hook it, whoop, go under, hook it with my hook. See, it's like kind of just like laying there on my hook. And I'm gonna use that little hooky part to bring it right into my chain. So you're bringing it right into that gap. See how there's that gap in there? All right, one more time. I'm going under and I'm latching onto it. And then I'm bringing it right into my loop. One more time. I'm going, here it is. It's kind of loose. I'm going under. I grabbed it and I'm pulling it under, grabbed it, pulling it under. Sorry for the sound effects. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm going under, grabbing it with my hook and pulling it through that little chain. Look at how good that's looking. Now, if your chain is kind of wobbly, that's fine because that means that you're just either longer. Give it here. I'm going to give it more space and you'll see that you're still doing the same thing. It's just a bigger stitch. You see that? And as you practice, it gets easier and easier to have an even chain. But if this happens, guess what? Look at this. Look what I'm doing. I'm just pulling and it arranges itself. So here's a big loop. I'm going under, I'm grabbing that and I'm bringing it through that loop. Now I have this big chain. Do I not want this big chain? Guess what? All I got to do is pull on this right here, then pull on this up here, pull on until it's arranged nicely. And there it is. Super simple. Now, again, I am holding my things very, very lightly. I'm not tugging hard, like literally, I'm like barely holding it. Like it's just going over. It's just guiding it. Like you could literally just guide it on here, hold it back here, pull it through. And like, I'm not like, you don't have to hold it tight. The problem is a lot of people tend to like hold really tight and then you're like this and then you're like, oh, I can't fit it because you're holding it tight. Don't hold it tight. Just hold it loose and let it do its thing. So that is a chain. Now from here, we got to figure out what we're going to do next. Now your pattern might tell you different things. There might be a single crochet, a double crochet, a triple crochet, a slip stitch, and those are your main things that it's going to ask you to do. Now, first thing you need to do is know how to count your chain. I've got my chain right here, and every single one of these little things is a chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 on here. And as you can see, it looks like a little braid. It really does look like a braid. That's pretty cool. So 4 single crochet. Okay, if it tells you chain 1, we just learn how to chain. Okay, and then 4 single crochet. This is what it's doing. It's not grabbing any more yarn. It's going to go into the little loop. Usually you don't go right into the first one. Some patterns make you go into the first one, but not usually. Usually you chain 1 and you go in. So you would go into the first loop. As you can see right there, see how that's the chain right there? You would go into that chain right in there. And then you would do the same thing we just did earlier. We'll loop it over, bring it and pull it right through there. Okay, now you've got 2 little things. Then you're going to loop it over again and you're going to go through all the 2 of them. Again, I'm holding my yarn so lightly. Okay, I'm going in through the little chain. I'm bringing it over. I'm biting the yarn with my hook. Doesn't it look like it's biting it? And then I'm going to bring it right through. 1. And then now we've got the 2 little chains hanging on there for your life. I'm biting another one and I'm going right through both of them. 1, 2. And this is the reason why I say that this yarn is better to use for learning, because see how it's not coming apart? Some yarns will come apart and you're like, which loop am I going through? So you'll learn to tell as you go. But here we go again. Here's a single crochet. We've got a chain right there. We're going to go to the next chain over and go in. We're going to grab our yarn, kind of hook it on your hook. Hook it on your hook. and then bring it through again. Loop. There it is. You can use your fingers down here to kind of hold your work down so it's out of the way. Then I've got 2 chains in there. I'm gonna go under, and then bring it out. And those are my single crochet. See how it starts looking like a single crochet over here? Under. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's wait up. That's double crochet. Here's single crochet again. Go through. There's nothing on here except for my chain. We're going to go through it. We're going to go under it. We're going to grab it. We're going to pull it. Now you got 2. We're going to go under it again. Grab it. You're going to pull it. One more time. Under. Pull. 2. Pull through 2. One more time. I'm sorry. All right. One last time. We're going to go through that chain. We're going to go over. We're going to go under. Now we've got 2. And go over again and out the 2. There we go. Simple as that. I'm going to finish up this chain with single crochets. And then we're going to go on to talk about double crochet. Now I'm turning my work. I've got my chain here. I've got my little loop there. I'm going to grab it on. Usually they want you to chain 1 here at the end. So we're going to go around, under, pull through. So I chained 1 here and I'm going to turn. Now it looks a little bit different from the other side, but it's essentially the same thing. If you look at it this way, see, this is the back, this is the top. You see how there's the chains right there? 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, because I chained 1, so don't count that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See my 10 original crochet things there? Okay, so now what you're going to do is, that's a chain 1, so you don't worry about that one right there, but you're going to worry about this one. This is your first one. You see that little gap right there? That's where you're going to go in. On the first chain, you're only going on the one on the back. On the next, you're just going to go back and go through both of them. Here in this gap, then here on this gap, like under the 2 of them. Unless sometimes it'll tell you to go just on the back or just on the front if you're doing a special stitch. But if you're just doing a regular stitch, you'll go through both. So here's double crochet. Now, for single crochet, we went straight in with nothing up here except for that 1 chain, right? Well, that's single, so that's 1, right? So double would be 2. So I've got 1 on there already. So we're gonna give it a little friend. Hi, friend. Now you've got 2 right here. See that? That's 2. Single, double, single, double. It's a couple. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, now that I got 2 on here, we're gonna do the same thing we did earlier. We're gonna go right through that gap, that first chain. We're gonna go under, get it, bring it. Now, as you can see, I've got 3 instead of 2, but we still want to get rid of 2 first. So I'm going to go under, bring it over, get rid of 2, 1, 2. Now I still got 2. This is my single now. And then I'm going to go under, bring it, and get rid of those 2. And that's a double crochet. All right, one more time. We're going to go give this single a partner. Hi, partner. Then we're going to go to the next chain. See it right there? Go in. Let me show you where it's at. See that right there? Then I'm going to pull this yarn like so. Bring it, latch onto it, bring it. Now there's 3. Now I'm going to bring the yarn over. I'm going to eat 2. 1, 2. Now there's 2. Bring the yarn over. Get the other 2. There they are. One more time now. Over. 2. That's a double. I'm going to go into that area right there. I'm going to go, the yarn is going to go over the hook. I'm going to grab it, pull it through once. Now I've got 3. Put the yarn over, pull it through 2, pull the yarn over, pull it through the other two. There it is. These are my double crochets. I'm gonna do another one. Pull my yarn over. Here's my little area right here where we're gonna go through that area. Pull it under. There it is. Now pull it under two. Got two left. Pull it around under the other two. There it is. Now, if for some reason your hook comes off and you're like, "Wah, what do I do now?" So simple. You just pull this out because you always want to be here at the top. So now you're like, okay, I lost that stitch, but now I have it right here, and we're just going to redo that stitch again. Okay. If it comes off and you're like this, oh, it's open. What do I do here? I just always just take it off that one stitch and get up here at the top on that loop and try again. Light, literally, you could just hook it over, grab your piece of work, make sure that this is on there. See, where's my next stitch? Right there's my next stitch. Okay, so pull it over, put it through the stitch. The geese, excuse me, I'm trying to film a video over here. And then grab it, put it over the hook, grab it, pull it under, and you're ready to pull it over again, pull it under, pull it, put that thread over again, the yarn, and pull it out. You see, I'm just trying to show you how light, you don't even need to hold it very tight at all. I think that's the main mistake. We pull it so tight sometimes that we can't get through the hoop, and we think that we need to just pull it super tight. Like, look, if I'm pulling it tight, if I'm holding it really, really tight, I can barely get through here and here, and I'm holding it really, really tight. I can't. It's so hard, right? Don't do that. No need. Now I'm stuck. See, even I get stuck when I pull it too hard. Look at that. Light, light, light. Over, under, over, grab it, pull it. Ready? Over, pull it again through two, over again, pull it through the last two. Now, if that was double crochet, what do you think triple crochet? Let me show you. There's one, that's a single, so you just go right through it and finish it. Here's two, that's a double, so now you would go through it and finish it. Here is three. So here's 1, 2. This one you're gonna have to hold it a little bit tighter because, or use this finger over here. Why are you not focusing? Over here, over here. This is where we are. Leave the yarn alone, right here. Okay, I've got 2 right there. You kind of want to bring this one over because you're gonna go over it one more time. So now you got 3 on here. 1, 2, 3. That's a triple crochet, right? That's more advanced, so don't worry about that right now, but I'm just gonna show you real quickly. We go, now we've got 3. We're gonna go under again. So we've got under, we always get rid of 2. Now we've got 3 on here. Over, we'll get rid of 2 again. Now we've got 2, and over. We do that 3 times. That's a triple crochet. See how it gets taller? Single crochet short, double crochet is a little bit longer, triple crochet it's longer. 2, 3, that's a triple. Go in, same basic thing I'm doing all over again, but I'm doing it 3 times because it's 1, 2, 3, triple crochet. And that's how you start going bigger. So let's just do a double crochet so we can go down. 1, 2 double crochets. And see how like it starts taking shape, like it's going up and then it starts going down. So you can do like a shape or whatever. But honestly, my favorite is the double crochet, and usually that works up so fast, and you can build yourself a scarf, you can build yourself a blanket, you can build yourself whatever you want by continuing to do that stitch all the way till the number 10. Let's do 2. Here, the last one it's kind of hard to see, but if you tilt it over, see how there's still one right there? You're going right here. And that's just the end. So there's nothing there. That's done. So then we chain and we turn. Here's our work so far. Looks a little squiggly because we went triple crochet at the center. So if we're just going to do double crochet, let me do a row of double crochet real quickly. See how nice that looks? And you get bigger and bigger and bigger. Just keep going up. Now, once you have the desired length, what do? I'm just going to tie off, which means I just grab my yarn here. You're going to basically, you're chaining. So like you're going, like you started, you're going to chain, you're going to pull it through. But instead of pulling the fabric all the way through, and you got some scissors, I'm going to cut it, not the fabric, the thread, I'm sorry. And then you're just going to pull it and knot it right there. And here we have our little square. Don't mind my dog's hair. This is what happens when you have a black lab. There's black lab hairs everywhere. There we go. I told you I was going to show you the magic circle, so I'm going to show you that really quick. Oh, let me mention too, the reason why it looks wobbly here, it looks like it's got a little bubble here, is because it's got the triple crochets there, which are taller, so it kind of gives you a little bit of a bubble effect. All right, so here's my ball of yarn again, and I'm going to do the magic circle. I'm going to show you why you need the magic circle. All right, magic circle is a little bit harder to do. I've got my end of yarn here, and I'm looping it around, so I've got my circle. See that right there? This is my working yarn here. So I'm going to put my hook through, and I'm going to just pull my yarn like this. You're just bringing your yarn over. Okay? And then underneath it, grab it again and pull it through that loop you created. I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to show you what that means. So it's like I'm doing a single crochet. I'm putting my hook through the circle. I'm bringing the yarn, grabbing the yarn over, pulling it under the circle. Then I'm going to the yarn again, pulling it through. It's like I'm single crocheting into that circle right here. I'm going through the circle. This is the yarn I'm working with over here. I'm pulling it through to the bottom. Then I'm going to pull that yarn I'm working with again under, pull it through all the way, because that's a single crochet. You see that? And then you start crocheting to that little chain, because that circle right there, because then you can close this circle and you can make like on the round, if you're sewing like something on the round or something like that. So that's a magic circle. Let's do it again. You don't need to, you may not, if you're beginning and you're just using a beginner pattern, you may not need this, but I'm just going to show it to you anyway. If you're like, oh, forget it, I don't want to deal with that right now. You don't have to. You can stop the video now. All right, so here it is. We make a circle. Here's my circle, right? I'm going into my circle. I'm bringing this yarn with me, pulling it under. Then I'm going up here, grabbing the yarn and pulling it through. Right? Does that make sense? Once again, I'm going into my circle. My yarn is just kind of sitting there. I'm going to pull it through underneath the circle. Come on. Then I'm going to grab it again, and I'm going to pull it through my single crochet. One more time now. Okay. Circle. It gets easier to do as you do it more and more times. Here's my circle. Here's my working yarn over here. Here's my loose end. I stick my needle through, my hook, sorry. I'm gonna bring this one with me. Like literally it's just sitting there. And I'm like, you're doing nothing, come with me. And it's like, okay, I'm coming with you, right? Then from the back, see it's right there? I'm bringing it again and pulling it through. You gotta hold it here because it's wiggly, especially that first one. See that? And now it's ready. See that second one? It's just really easy. It just goes whoop, whoop. See that? One more time. Under. Pull that yarn. Come with me. Oh, I lost it. Let's do it one more time. See? Anybody can lose it. Bring it under. Pull it through. It really does help to use your thumbs holding your chain, because then when you're going, if you're not using your thumbs, it's kind of hard, like it moves around. But if you kind of hold it here with your thumbs kind of out of the way, it helps keep it straight so that it's not moving. See, when you bring it over here, then again, my thumb is kind of clenching it here and bringing it through. It just helps a lot. And that's it. That's all I'm going to go through today. Comment below and let me know if you have any questions.
All right, friends, I know that this seems like it wasn't that much. We didn't do very much, but the more you practice that and the longer it gets, you can create a little scarf, you can create a blanket, you can create so many things. Believe it or not, this whole thing, I started here at the center. If you can see right here, there's a little circle right here. That's a magic circle I just showed you. And then I started to sew all the way around double crochets. This is all double crochets. The cuff is single crochet. That's it. So it was super easy to do once you get the hang of it and you just kind of go around the sort of circle thing. So I hope this was helpful for the beginner. I'm going to try to come on here and do some other things, show you a little bit of more of a pattern and stuff like that. Comment below and let me know. On my face. Comment below and let me know what you want to see, what we want to crochet together. Let me know if this was helpful, and if you're having a hard time with this still, if you watched it and you're like, I still don't understand, let me know your questions. Come find me on Instagram at Eloise.Ezra, where I'm more often on there, and I'm doing always stories and tutorials on there. So come find me on there so you can ask any of your questions, and I can show you more close up again if you have any other questions. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep trying. It gets easier, I promise. Make sure you're finding the correct type of yarn to begin your project. Don't be using the ones that are loose and the ones that are scratchy that kind of hurt your finger, because that makes you get tired after a while and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. So make sure you find a good yarn to start, a beginning yarn, and a good size hook. If you start with something too small or something too big, it's going to get overwhelming. So like I said, finding the right hook and the right yarn to begin with as a beginner, I think will help you get a better feel for crochet, and then help you get excited about it and not get like, oh, this hurts, this is annoying, this is not working. So anyway, I know you can do it. I think once you get started, you're gonna love it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below and let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you all next time.